to watch a game in any sport and one of the best home crowds in any sport. Soldier Field in Chicago. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerge from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we, as the Bears get set to match up with their opponents. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Off-play action, Fields in trouble, and he's taken down. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's second down.
We talked about prior to the game, and it played out right there on the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have its hands full all night long.
Now, you often speak of scripts to start a game. Does this mean that play number 2, they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people, when they script now, they actually script those contingencies in, okay, in case they can't run the play they want to. It's long distance now. Let's go to that play.
2nd and 15. Another try after the first down sack. Fields. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38. Remember, Charles, this is the #1 defense in the NFL, and they proved their mettle here, forcing the turnover on the opening possession.
And sometimes when you play a team that has that reputation, it's earned it by their play. The psychology is, okay, they're #1. They have to prove it to us, and they tried to attack. They found out that that ranking was real.
And if history is any indication, when this defense gets off to a good start, and it's caught. Touchdown. Jerry Jeudy, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Condors have taken the early lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they are back down to the 500 mark after 2 straight losses. And, Charles, this is a team that, to be frank, their play has really dropped off the last couple of weeks.
And, Brandon, I think there's a sense around the building that they can't let this losing streak get any worse than it is. Because if they were to lose here and fall below 500, then you're playing catch-up the rest of the way. They've got to take a stand and make it stop.
Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's second down. Another try after the first down sack. Fields nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the defense. And that will set him up in excellent shape. First and goal at the 9-yard line. The The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? First and goal. Hurts sets up to throw it. And it's caught. Touchdown. Rashad Bateman, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Condors are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And it's now 14-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You'd better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 3rd down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Here's Fields. He finds his man complete. It's Stevens. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down. And here's Hunter Nicewander now. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Next to receivers, they'll spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Oh, and that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. From the gun, it's Hurts. That's complete, Okuebunam. And he's got room. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A big play that time on the catch and run.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
Throwing is Hurts. And it's caught. Touchdown. Anthony Schwartz, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Condors are able to extend their lead. And now before we get to the extra point, remember all touchdowns do have to be confirmed by the replay official. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point by Gay is up and good, and that makes the score 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
On second down, Briscoe. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Keep it up, guys. Like 5. Hey, watch your legs.
Throwing on third down, Fields. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the defense will get their hands on it. Going the other way. And they're going to get the football just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line. This defense, Charles, very opportunistic here early. A second fumble recovery. Quarter of play.
Yeah, you mentioned the right word, opportunistic and aggressive, because once they got the first fumble recovery, they were eager to get a second one, and sometimes they just come in bunches. On the flip side, they've got to figure out how to hold the ball because the play calls seem to be okay. They're just not executing. And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them total and the momentum.
To throw once more on second and 10. Hurts. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They force incompletions on first and second down, bring up third and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure or do they play coverage on this down?
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long. Hurts. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
Gay's kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
To throw again on second down. Fields got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
The heavy set out there. 3 tight ends in the formation for 3rd and 3. Fields. Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. DeMarcus Lawrence coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. We are in for a good one as we're through 1 on EA Sports. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Fielded just inside the 20. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. 64 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in his first half. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They go play action with Hurts. Space to run past the 20. And he's going to get it all the way down to the 10-yard line.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. They'll run here with Akers. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
2nd down and goal. Hurts. Flush to his right. And he's got his man in stride. Complete. Touchdown. Jerry Jeudy with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Condors are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They're still in search of an initial 1st down as they come up here 1st and 10. And he will lose yardage on the play back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
On second down now, Briscoe. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
Fields now to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
It's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
Taking it about the 16. A solid stiff arm. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. An excellent return that time. 26 yards. And the with a new set of downs. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. The penalty moves them into the red zone here on 1st and 10.
Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room. 17's Mike. Mike 17. Rip left. Rip left.
Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Here's the option going left on second down. And he's not even able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Now there's also a flag down, and it's in the area of holding. Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. Here's Hurts to throw. This will be caught. Judy. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Hook up a 15 yards there. And they're going to have a third down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. They'll try and run for this with Akers. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on third down, so it was no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on third downs all year long. Akers hit, he coughs it up. And this is picked up by the Bears. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that's scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And in a spot like this, still more than a minute, I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? How much better would they feel running into the locker room, as you noted, with something on the board in a positive fashion? You're exactly right. It's a great opportunity to get that done.
And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They run the counter. Briscoe. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Fields. Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Ramsey. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. The first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them, because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
2nd down, they'll go with Akers again. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Back to throw. Looking underneath, he's got Akers.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good, soft in spots. There's an easy throw and catch for another first down.
On first down, Hurts. He'll get that complete to Albert O. And Charles, of interest here, that last throw is going to put him over 20,000 yards passing for his career, and that's not a bad number.
You're exactly right about that, and even though it's nowhere near the top of the leaderboard, because when you think about it, Brady and Breeze, they've done that 4 times over. But when you hit 20,000, let's face it, only a little over 100 guys have ever done that in the NFL. It's worthy of some applause.
From the 39, Hurts. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. But Charles, something we talked about last week, when you start believing whether you're in the midst of a special season or not. Well, now they're at 6-0. Are you still trying to tamp down the expectations in that locker room?
Well, to me, it's less about tamping down expectations and much more about not getting ahead of yourself as a team. And look, they've got a play each game individually, right? Many teams talk about being 1-0 at the end of each and every game each week. To me, you've got to understand you cannot win the Super Bowl in October.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
On 2nd and 9, Hurts. That's caught left side by Judy. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Mike 17. Check.
On 3rd down, here's a run by Akers. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. Well, they gave themselves options there on the 3rd down play and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go. And he did on that play.
So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Off the option, here's Akers. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. 3rd and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. They'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. And now what the heck is this? A punt formation from the red zone? He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Still 9 remaining on 2nd down.
I got 15. I'm trying to collect.
On play action, Fields. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
The Bears on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Single, slot. Hey, you're
A play fake, now Fields to throw. That's into the hands of Edwards. So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off at about the 31. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. A shotgun snap, Fields. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And this will be caught by Edwards. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Yikes. Terrible kick headed straight for the sidelines. And this one goes sailing out of bounds. Where did it cross? Well, they're going to say on this side of midfield. They'll run on 1st down with Akers. Dances by him. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 95 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out. Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
So it's our visitors with a football as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
A crucial penalty there as the hold backs them up for another 2nd and goal. And they'll indeed take a knee. From back at the 2, here's 3rd and goal. And they take a knee. And now what the heck is this? A punt formation from the red zone? Yeah, he was looking for the check-up bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
A big play there on the catch and run. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Fields throw taken in by Edwards. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Hey, watch the slant. Switch it, switch it, switch it. Come on, switch it.
To throw again on 2nd down. Fields. And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Mike 5, Mike 5. Double dog, that's the way.
Fields throwing it. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off near the 29. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
So this crowd will not